All right, everybody, welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing tonight? Okay, I'm gonna let people gather up for a couple minutes. Probably gonna be a kind of a shorter stream for obvious reasons. It's late, but I always want to do a post game stream pretty much, so I got to do something. Chronos, after like the first 20 minutes, it was fine. Yeah, lock Bobo. Lock and Bobo, man. I mean, it's got to be said. Bobo, despite his hysterically slow straight line speed, finds ways to get open. Hey, big house, say Brandon. So I don't think we're gonna get that many people in here because it's so late. Yeah, that's one thing that kind of sucks about the post game stuff, Felipe. You post a video and then you have to go live very quickly after. That post game video, by the way, was 21 minutes long, and I still forgot a few things. It's hard to talk about football games sometimes. Yeah, Striatic. I was thinking about that. Like, JSN is so important to the offense. That's probably a really bad idea. So I kind of agree. Yeah, Mask, I didn't either. I didn't buy it. The truth is, I know it. I mean, he made one really bad throw. Other than that, he played really well, I think. Aesop has a chance, but I still think he's on the outside looking in. Bush did look good on defense and special teams. Yeah, Cape Troll. The broadcast tonight was not good, but eventually they solved it. Did Trey Brown do punt returns and kick returns in Oklahoma? I think he did. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a ton of man defense out there tonight, but a lot of the guys who are going to be starting for our defense were not out there, so I don't know what to read into it necessarily. Punt returns? Okay. That's the more important thing. Kickoff returns are almost dead. Kickoff returns are almost extinct. Punt returns matter more now, I think. And they're kind of extinct too. Yes, he did, Mask. I agree. Okay. Got about 50 people in here now, so I'm going to go ahead and start opening it up. Welcome, everybody. We are here to talk about the preseason game that just played out in front of our eyes for, well, some of us. Not the whole thing in front of my eyes, unfortunately. But I did get to see basically the whole game. And the Seahawks won over the Minnesota Vikings 24-13. So, main things that stood out to me offensively, I liked most of the things that I saw, except Stone Forsythe and Phil Haynes. Those two guys, I think, really held us back from being far more effective offensively. I think that Locke played well. I think that the running backs played well for the opportunities they were given. I think that we showed tremendous depth at receiver because we lost guys right before this game and during this game. And we still got good things out of our receivers. So that stuff was great. I thought the other guys on the offensive line played fine. It was mostly just Forsyth, who at this point might just not really be an NFL caliber player, and Phil Haynes, who needs to get right very quickly here because it actually really matters that he's at least starting caliber this year. Even if he's below average, him being terrible would be a problem. But Locke made one bad throw, and other than that, he played great. Holton Allers, I know it won't work on the NFL level, but he is fun. There is a certain amount of entertainment to be had with Holton. Good for him. um, I thought Charbonnet, for the little bit that he had the opportunity to do, looked pretty good out there, catching the balls and running with the ball. I think that our backup, our very much reserve running backs who have very little chance of making this team, looked good too, for whatever that's worth. Receivers, the way the receivers played in this game were great. We saw so many good things from JSN to Landers to Bobo to Aesop Winston Jr. Even Lindsey got to return a punt, which I know that's not really as a receiver, but even he got on the field and did something positive. So that, I think, was all really great. That was probably the best thing in this game, us showing how deep we are with frisky receivers. And that's the important word I want to use here, frisky. They're not good. We can't say that yet. But they are frisky. And that's all you can ask for from depth guys. So, cool stuff there. Great stuff there. Awesome stuff there. Oluwatimi was another bright spot. I think he played great. He looked better than Evan Brown. I don't know if that means that we can say that Oluwatimi's taken the pole positioning for starting center, but he did look better in this game. We're probably going to have to get Oluwatimi a start in the preseason at some point to see how he does against starters, because if he plays that way against starters, we really might just have to bite it and say, okay, he is going to be our starting center even though he's a rookie and we brought in Evan Brown to start. So that's the offense. Defensively, early in the game, we were getting beat up at the line of scrimmage a little bit, but there were splash plays. We got splash plays from Mike Morris, Devin Bush, Boye Mafe, Tyreek Smith. I thought Tyreek Smith played good, by the way, and I am not a fan of Tyreek Smith. I am not believing that Tyreek Smith is going to be a meaningful NFL player, but he played good today. I would say that obviously the guys at the very bottom of the depth chart on the defensive line, Levi Bell and Ferguson, played well. I don't know how much that means because their chance of making the roster is very thin, and there's not really a lot they can do to change that. Maybe those are going to be practice squad guys, but it's a hell of a thing for them to even consider making this roster. But they played great at the end of this game, got a lot of pressure on Hall. The secondary, I thought, for the most part, was good. Kobe looked good. Mike Jackson looked good. Trey Brown looked good until that one touchdown drive the Vikings had, where he gave up a big play and then gave up the touchdown. The touchdown was because he's too short, but the long play he gave up to get into the red zone was him not dropping fast enough. So, mostly encouraging things there. The main concern that I have on the defense would be John Radigan. He looked bad. And I know he put up numbers, but he can't change direction at all. His change of direction is bad. And BBK is toast. He looks so slow now. He has no speed left. He looks unplayably bad.
This time he goes down. It is Mosu who gets there.
Special teams was great tonight. Made our kicks. Had one bad punt, but we had good coverage on punts and kicks. Had one big kick return. Almost pinned him inside the 1 yard line that one play. So special teams were great. So overall, you would say that is a good, successful game that you're feeling pretty good about going into the next preseason game with. There's stuff to work on. There were penalties, which is the case in most preseason games. There were mistakes, which is the case in the first preseason game especially. But overall, encouraging signs. All right, so that's the main stuff out of the way. We do have one super chat here. Let me take a look here. Eric Tams, thank you for the $9.99. Following up on who looked good, did anyone cross the threshold, in your opinion, to make the 53? I think that Bobo is probably a guy. Maybe Sutherland because he has special teams value, but I still kind of doubt it. And mainly that. I would say that's about it. Because a lot of these guys are so far behind making the 53 man, they got to do this every day to have a chance. Well, the truth is, I know it. Would you rather have him? Would you rather have him throw it into triple coverage on plays and try to rocket things into between three defenders and get picked off all the time? Yeah, BBK's just lost his speed. It sucks, but I don't think he can be a guy at this point. We need V. Jones back, and we need John Radigan back. Not John Radigan back. V. Jones back and Jordan Brooks back. Yeah, Kobach was good, but I don't know if he has a pathway to make the roster. Yeah, JSN totally did good, Nathan. He didn't play most of the game, and he still had 3 catches. He looks fine. No issues with JSN. He looked great. Okay, so I'm going to stream for about an hour here. Um, just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about concerning the game, basically. We've got almost 100 people in the stream now. Please like the stream if you haven't already. We got 14 likes and 92 people in here. So please like the stream. Takes a second, costs you nothing. If you are new to the channel and you like constant Seahawks videos and streams, please subscribe. Also only takes a second, also costs you nothing. We have a sub goal of 14,000 by the end of the month. We are well on track to get there, but we got to keep pushing. If you want to go above and beyond that, you can also become a channel member. We have already hit pretty easily the August member goal, thanks to John Stillwell donating members over the last couple weeks. We are up to 129, but if you want to become a member, gain access to chat badges, chat emojis, comments, comment badges, and comment emojis, get shouted out in video descriptions, stream descriptions, and video intros, you can do that. $2, $5, or $15 a month. I'm going to address as many comments as I can during this stream, but I won't be able to get to all of them because of the volume. So if you have something you really want me to address, you can send it in as a super chat or a tip. Super chat's pretty easy. Just click the $sign on the chat. Tipping, click the link at the top of the video description. And that's about it. So let's get underway here. Did Olu play? Yes, and Olu played very well. He actually played most of the game. He, I think, looked better than Evan Brown. Not that Evan Brown looked bad, and Olu did play against worse players. But Oluwatimi made a pretty good argument for being a starter this year. And I still think he's an underdog, but that game has to, I think, wake people up to the possibility here. Do you see a chance that we have 3,000-yard receivers this season? I don't believe we're going to throw the ball enough. In order to do that, you have to be a team that basically abandons the run in all situations, and we're never going to be that team unless the defense is just the worst defense in the league. And there's no way this defense is going to be worse than the defense we had even last year. Did you even realize Cade Johnson got hurt? Not until I saw it on Twitter, Pyro. Yeah, that was one of the bad things that happened in this game. Cade Johnson got hurt. Dwayne Eskridge got hurt. And we still don't have full updates there. It sounds like they're both going to be okay, but we don't know yet. Earl J. Kaoli, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. I still have cable, by the way. So when I watched the game, I always got the Seahawks announcers, but it was Michael Robinson, and Michael Bennett. And I have to acknowledge, I don't think I didn't like their broadcast that much. I'm just gonna say it. Hey Ethan, what's up? Hope you had fun. It's possible to start Olu at center and Brown at right guard if Haynes doesn't cut it. Brown wasn't very good at guard. He's a natural center and he's better at center, but maybe that's what we end up doing. Yeah, we do need a running back on the practice squad. That's where the Kobach thing comes in. Kobach can make the practice squad pretty easily. But yeah, I never got the Vikings broadcast on cable. But I don't think Michael Bennett and Mike Robinson did a very good job calling the game. Austin, I think it'll be different thumbnails. Hey, Big Country. I suck at photo editing. I'm okay at video editing, but photo editing is something that I cannot stand. So my thumbnail game is pretty weak, admittedly. Special teams insane. Dixon had one bad punt, I think. That was the one bad thing that happened on special teams. Do you think Charbonnet from UCLA looked good? Yeah, I do, Jack. Offensive line wasn't really helping him. I think he did what he could. I thought he looked fine. Corbin Smith can be your host one day. I've never met Corbin Smith. I don't know how he would feel about that, but decent guy. I am certainly aware of him. Oh yeah, the long run that got called back was Thompson, Sir Roderick Thompson. You notice how open Bobo got? The dude has this the dude basically runs Rich Eisen's 40 time. How does he get open like that? That's kind of crazy. Oh, Derek Hall was pretty good, Jordan. I thought Derek Hall made some nice plays out there. He didn't stand out like Mafe did. Mafe looked dominant. Mafe looked like he's ready to be a well above average player this year, which is huge. We needed that so badly. Bobo on the touchback play. Yeah, the special teams value is going to be huge. That's why Bobo's going to make this team, I think. Shout out to Aesop Winston, by the way. He's got very little chance of making this team, but he did things. Hey, Addison. Yeah, I know, but we're back to it now. Although, obviously, it's so late, nobody's going to be here. It is like. Oh, I know the truth is I know it, but he's still very slow. Oh, thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. Got 112 people in here right now. Thank you, everybody. I know it's late. Even for me, it's late, which is why I'm only going to go like an hour. Pyro Griffin, thank you for the $2. I had no idea about the muffed punt rule. I knew about it because of onside kicks. If the kicking team recovers an onside kick, they can't advance it, right? Like, just think about it. You've never seen a team recover the onside kick and then return it for a touchdown if they're the kicking team. The receiving team can. I've seen that. But the kicking team, the ball is dead when they recover it. So I knew about that. It's the same basic thing. Aesop Winston could make the practice squad, yeah, but who comes off? Like, we only have so many spots. Like, is this just completely the end for somebody like could this be the end for somebody like Cody Thompson, even though he's getting hyped up in camp? DJ Dallas is overrated. You don't agree? I mean, I don't think anybody thinks DJ Dallas is that good. Like DJ Dallas is just a guy, but you need guys like that sometimes. Not everybody can be a star. What did you think about Reed and Sutherland tonight? They were both good, actually. Reed was all over the place. He had the PBU. Sutherland, especially early, was all over the damn place. Devin Bush was the best player on the field tonight. He was up there. I thought Mafe was probably a little better, but Mafe was only out there for a little bit. If Devin Bush can actually be a player this year, that's pretty big because clearly we're going to have problems behind him, right? Brooks is going to be coming off this big injury. BBK's toast. Radigan looked bad. Like, V. Jones got hurt already, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, Austin, it's not a big deal. I don't mind it, but I don't think they did all that good. Yeah, DJ Dallas will do his job, and you can count on him. Like, sometimes that's all you need. Charbonnet looked as advertised. We know what he is. We know what we got with him. No issue with that. Let's see here. What else? What else can I talk about? If Tyreek Smith is a player, that surprises the heck out of me. I was not thinking that Tyreek Smith was going to be much of anything in the NFL, but he looked good tonight, for whatever that's worth. Any new people now who you don't think will make the 53? The more I look at Landers, the more I think that he's a project. He needs to go on the practice squad for at least a year. So I'm kind of off that wagon now. I'm a bit worried about Bush getting injured with the aggressive way he plays. Yeah, I feel like that's something you just have to live with some players, like with Cam Chancellor. Look at the way he played. Look at the way Troy Polamalu played. Yeah, Nathan, I'm going to do one right before the season starts. I feel like the Seahawks should have drafted with Gonzalez over Witherspoon. Um, if we're going to run more zone defense, then I agree. But if we're going to run more man defense, Witherspoon's a better man cover corner. You think Trey Brown will get a lot of playtime this year? No, not really. There's no room for him. I feel bad for him, but I don't know how he gets on the field very much. The coaching staff said that Smith is fully back from his hip injury. I wasn't a big fan of him in college in the first place. Pyro, we don't have an ETA on Brooks and Adams, but Carroll keeps saying they're very close. It sounds like they could be ready week one. Because oh yeah, it was a completely garbage throw. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Landers committed offensive pass interference. Probably should have been a flag on Landers, but whatever, it's preseason. I'm eating popcorn, kettle corn, kettle corn. Run defense was getting roughed up early, but I kept having to tell people this. Our starting defensive line was made up of players mostly who will probably not make the team. And the one guy no starters were on the defensive line. Our starting defensive line is Reed, Draymond Jones, and probably Mario Edwards. Mario Edwards is likely going to be the other starter. None of those guys played tonight, so don't worry about it. Cave Troll, Jones is hurt, so it has to be Bush. Apparently his injury is serious. Austin, I don't think I'm going to be able to stream on Twitch tonight, which is unfortunate, but I just don't think it's going to happen tonight. If I did it, it would be for like an hour, and I don't want to start a brand new game and only stream for an hour. What is Phil Haynes worth? I mean, he has some value because he's versatile, and he's not terrible, but he might just be bad. Oh, we got Beavers fans starting to feel themselves. Okay. I mean, this is our last year in the Pac-12. Better the conference can be, the more fun it'll be. Favorite Pokemon? Jeez. We must have gotten bored of talking about this game really quickly if I'm getting asked stuff like that. I like Jigglypuff. How did you work full-time and keep up the channel? I just do. It's not that hard. You just have to manage your time well. Well, Addison, he will because he doesn't have to take up a roster spot for the first 6 games because he's going to be suspended. Right, he doesn't take up a roster spot, so we can keep him until he has to be activated and then we can make a decision. So there's no need to make the decision now. Oh, Sean, there's a ton of stuff I didn't mention in that video that I should have. I didn't mention Radigan. I didn't mention BBK. I didn't mention Oluwatimi. There's so much to go over after a preseason game that, yeah, I definitely missed stuff. Pyro Griffin, thank you for the membership, Elite Channel membership. Welcome aboard. You are now a Elite Channel member with all the perks that come with that. Thank you, Pyro Griffin. That gets us up to 130 members as of right now. Obviously, we've already destroyed the August goal. Thank you. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff I forgot to mention, Sean Laris, which is sad because the video is 21 minutes long. Which goes to show you, in a preseason game, there's so much to talk about that it's hard to keep track of everything. Do you think the Beavs would have beat the Huskies last year if the power didn't go out? I don't even remember that. I gotta be honest. I don't even know what you're talking about. No problem, Pyro Griffin, and I appreciate your support. Rainstorm, God, man, I don't remember. I don't even remember that. That is so weird. It happened last year? Whatever. Yeah, we still have Noah Fant, but he is a free agent this offseason. Maybe we will miss Cody Barton. He's not a good fit for a 3-4. What do you think the Broncos' record will be this year? 7-10, something like that. 8-9, something in that area. Their schedule isn't that bad, but I'm getting some season from hell vibes from them because they've already had these injuries. Yeah, the truth is, I know it. Barton is meant to play in a 4-3. I don't think he's a good fit for our defense at all. Right, guy, quite a few people reported that. I didn't have that problem, but some people did. That little D end or edge rusher that played in the fourth quarter, Bell, that guy's a little fifth string beast. He's like Nick Reed. Does anybody in the chat remember Nick Reed? Does anybody in the chat right now remember Nick Reed? Do you think Deshaun Watson will have a Geno Smith comeback type year? It won't be like Geno Smith. That's a very different situation. But he'll definitely be a lot better. Are you going to say games this year? Some. How good do I think he'll be? He'll be like the 11th or 12th best QB in the league. Shouldn't we already be looking at what Evan Brown can do at right guard at this point? I mean, I feel like we already kind of know that. He's not as good. He's a center. He wasn't very good at guard last year. He may be better than Haynes. That's possible. Nose tackle, it sounds like it's going to be Jaron Reed with Cam Young coming off the bench, which it's got a chance. I'm willing to give it a chance. The NFL is moving towards smaller, more athletic players. JSN stats. I think he would get. I think he's going to get to like 900 yards. I'm starting to buy into it. Addison, I think there are cheaper options than Sunday Ticket. I think there are other ways to get games that might be cheaper. I could be wrong. I would definitely shop around a little bit though. I think that I still think Evan Brown is going to start at center, but I think the door is a little more open. Will our old pal Russ win comeback player? Guys, comeback player of the year has already been determined. Like we don't even need to be talking about it. It is completely obvious who's going to win comeback player of the year this year. They don't even need to have the award. So, no, that's not happening. I heard about that. The truth is, I know. Yes, Rye Guy has it. Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin, if he plays one play all season, is going to win comeback player of the year. It's like already guaranteed. What rookie are you most excited about this year besides the two first rounders? I guess it kind of has to be Charbonnet because I think he'll be the most productive. Yeah, I think that would be the. I think that kind of has to be the one. Eskridge got hurt on the opening kickoff, guys. I know it sounds like I'm joking. I'm not. I know it sounds like I'm making a joke, but I'm not. He got hurt on the opening kickoff. Yeah, Witherspoon's going to be fine, Sean. I'm not worried about Witherspoon. Dwayne Eskridge can play in the preseason. He just can't play in the first 6 regular season games. So this is actually kind of a big deal that he gets to play in this preseason. It's too many catches, Nathan. I don't think he's going to do that. Doesn't Hulu have live sports? Or do they not have live NFL games? I thought Oluwatimi looked really good, but he is playing against like the second and third string. So we need to see him against better players before we commit. I can't remember Chala move. I'm pretty sure a viewer went to him and recommended it, and then he contacted me, and it kind of went from there. But we both knew what was happening at the same time. Thoughts on JSN today? JSN looked good. JSN did everything that you could want somebody to do in a preseason. Mike Morris, he was pretty good too. Liked what I saw from him. I thought Drew Lock looked good, guys. Guy. He had one bad throw. Other than that, he was great. Oh, cool, Nathan. Happy birthday. Sean, I just watch on cable. I haven't cut cable yet. I still watch on cable. Zadaki, I don't know how many of my division's preseason games I get. Yeah, David, I heard about that. Reek Woolen. That's going to be kind of interesting. I don't know. I think it's kind of too bad, though. Tariq's a cool name. I would have stuck with Tariq. Any disappointment we didn't upgrade the right guard position in the offseason? I mean, I guess there's always a level of disappointment when you don't upgrade anything. And Haynes looks like a problem, but at the same time, I am happy that we didn't overreact. Like, if we had spent a first round pick on Torrance and brought him in to be right guard, I think that would be worse. Because it's just overdrafting a guy who's not going to. The juice is not going to be worth the squeeze on that guy, I don't think. What is Haynes worth? Oh, okay. I just realized what you were doing there, Nathan. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, it seems like Adams is going to be ready for week 1, but we're just going to have to wait and see on that. These kinds of things, are very fluid. There's a reason why we almost never get timetables from the coaches, because oftentimes they don't have one. Yeah, Mafe, I think, was our best player on a per snap basis. So, if there's anything that happened in this game that is meaningful for the rest of the season, I think you could say it would be that because Mafe's development as a player is extremely important this year. Like some of these other guys that look good, like Levi Bell. Levi Bell looked good, but is that necessarily important? Is he going to make the team? Probably not. Almost definitely not. Seahawks are third best team in NFC. The problem is we're not even the best team in our own division, so it's really hard to get ahead with that being the case. Nathan, I got at least one video coming out tomorrow. Yeah, practice squad is like the best Levi Bell could do. That's the thing. Like, there's not really any upside there because he's tiny. A little bit of it, Sean K, but we got a Mariners game tomorrow too. That's kind of important. Maybe it is Levi. I don't know. Dacian. I'm not good with pronouncing names. And I got gloves from DK. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's Devin, even though it's clearly spelled Devon. Daniel, I'm pretty sure he was trolling. You can't have zero catches for 150 yards. That's impossible. It's a divide by zero error, guys. I think Jamal's going to play like 11 or 12 games this year. That would be my guess. It's literally a divide by zero error because try to calculate the yards per reception. You literally end up dividing by zero. Bush looked great, Sean. Bush actually looked awesome, which is a very big deal, too. We needed a second inside linebacker. Yeah, the 49ers aren't that much better than us, but I do think they're better than us. Hey, Trevor. The game was pretty good, Trevor. Our pass rush looked good. Our receivers looked good. Raga, I think he's going to play the next couple games if he's physically capable of it. We need to get him out there. Yeah, Kobe laid some wood. Kobe looked good. He does seem like he'll be better at safety than cornerback. It seems like it works to his abilities better. Why did Pittsburgh release Bush? They didn't release Bush. They let him walk at the end of his contract. KJ Wright says Cody Barton freaks out and yells at players during the game. I never really noticed that, but I guess. Too bad we can't get out of the Diggs contract anytime soon. I'd really like to see Kobe back there. I mean, what kind of safety would Kobe be? Is he a free safety or a strong safety? What do you think the starting secondary will be? Woolen and Witherspoon. Witherspoon slides inside on nickel downs, and Jackson comes out. And then you have Adams and Diggs, with Love coming out on 3 safety sets. No, Jay Einstein, I beat Final Fantasy 2 days ago. I beat it a couple days ago. I'm starting a new game, well, today, because it's now past midnight, but really tomorrow. Noah Gindorf have a good camp? I haven't heard very much about Gindorf. The backup tight end who has my attention is Hey Bear. He's interesting as like a fullback tight end hybrid, like a Jacob Hollister. Great athlete. Did you hear that apparently Jimmy G outplayed Purdy in the Raiders and Niners joint practice? No, but that doesn't surprise me. Purdy's not good. Jimmy G is probably better than Purdy. Well, yeah, the truth is I know it. He had a really hard time coming back from the injury. It was a massive injury that he had. Yeah, I saw the CJ Stroud thing. I mean, CJ Stroud is going to be a project. That shouldn't surprise anybody, I don't think. CJ Stroud, he's going to have to accelerate the clock in his head for the NFL. I think he can do it. I believe he'll do it, but it's going to take time. He's not going to come out and dominate as a rookie. Not really, Jack. I'm in one fantasy league right now, and it's outside of YouTube. No open spots. I don't really like fantasy that much. I do it a little bit, but I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, man. Anthony Bradford had that one really nice pancake, and then he kind of sucked for the rest of the game. Never spoken with Bob Condota, no. Trey Brown's going to make the team, but is he going to play? That would be hard. People would have to get hurt. Olu looked way better at center to me. Evan Brown was really struggling. I don't think Evan Brown was struggling, but Oluwatimi looked better. I thought Evan Brown played fine, but Oluwatimi played great. But Oluwatimi's playing against more backups, so we're going to need to see a little bit more before I commit to anything. No, I don't think Radigan played good. He played a little better later in the game, but he can't. His change of direction is bad. So I'm not really on the Radigan wagon right now. I think we're going to need to do a little. Well, we're going to have to hope that Brooks and Jones are healthy. Charbonnet looked fine. There wasn't a lot for him because Forsyth and Haynes didn't play well. Unfortunately, I'm starting to think we might just have to toss the Stone Forsyth experiment. Stone Forsyth is just not very good. And I don't think he's physically capable of being much more than he is right now. Just a very lackluster tackle who can't move well enough and is too slow out of his stance. Still worth the sixth round pick we spent on him, but it just hasn't panned out. Yeah, Brown may end up playing special teams. That's something that I wasn't anticipating. That could happen. Oh yeah, Daniel, I agree. Forsyth still makes the roster because we need a backup left tackle, but the experiment's not working. He's just too slow. You know, a lot of people say that, Sean K, that Charbonnet reminds them of Dylan. I don't know if I see it. I think Charbonnet's a little more dynamic, but yeah, I'm not worried about Charbonnet. Some people were being a little down on what Charbonnet was doing. I thought he looked fine. Starting O-line, I think, is still Cross and Lucas at tackle, Lewis and Haynes at guard, and Brown at center. Jarek Reed's definitely going to make the roster, I think. We like that guy. Remember, we drafted him when he was not really considered to be a draft caliber player. Like, Jarek Reed the second was kind of considered a UDFA, and we drafted him because we liked him so much we wanted to make sure we got him. What do you think of Bobby's return? He'll be good. I don't think he's going to be the best line. I don't think he's going to be the best linebacker in the league this year, but I know he's going to be an upgrade over what we had. See you later, Addison. Krishna, I think Kobe moving to safety makes a lot of sense. I like it. I think Austin Folu's injured Shalamov. Shalamov. Any other running backs? Well, the other running backs that played are guys who have very little chance of making the team, but Kobach and um, Thompson did look pretty good. What did you think of the Russell Wilson move? What Russell Wilson move? Uma Pirate Girl. I think like 11 wins, Sean. Of course, the Jamal trade wasn't worth it. That's pretty. Oh, him being traded to Denver. Um, at the time, I mean, I was kind of okay with it. I was like okay with it. I was like, okay, at least we picked a path. It wasn't necessarily the path that I wanted, but I was like, okay, at least we committed to something. I don't think Soroderic has any chance of making the team, Brady. I do think Kobach makes the practice squad, but you can only carry four running backs. You're not going to be able to carry more than four. Um, so Walker, Charbonnet, McIntosh, Dallas. That's your four. You can't do more than that. Like if all your running backs get hurt, then you just had bad luck. So Kobach probably makes a practice squad. Wide receiver 4 is going to be Derek Young unless he's seriously injured. I now think Bobo's going to make the team, yeah. And I didn't think that until tonight, but I got to admit, I think it's going to happen. No, Julio's completely shot, Ip Man. Julio's got nothing left. He is TOAST. What's our receiver room after roster cuts? I actually have a video about that going up tomorrow morning. But I now think that it's going to be Bobo as the fifth, behind the four obvious guys. Because I do believe Derek Young has to make it because of his versatility. I really hope we can keep Landers on the practice squad, though. That guy has tremendous potential. He just doesn't know how to play football yet. So we're going to need to be patient, but I actually like him a lot. He just needs to learn how to catch, which is kind of a big deal, but I like Landers a lot. Thoughts on Oluwadimi today? He was actually great. He was the better center today, but that's not going to move me by itself. No, Eskridge is still going to be here because he won't take up a roster spot. In a weird way, him getting involved in the domestic violence, um, him getting involved in that domestic violence thing actually saved his job, I think. I think he was going to get cut after this game when he got hurt or put on IR or whatever. But the fact that we now don't have to make a decision until after week 7 is actually going to save him. Uh, I don't think so. There's no Daniel. He's not ready to play NFL wide receiver. I'm sure everybody can see that. He can't really catch. He can't really run routes. Like, you can't have him on a 53 man right now. It's a complete waste. He doesn't do special teams either. Devin Bush played great, Brandon. And by the way, to a couple people in the chat, can you please stop talking about weird stuff? I'm not Cambodian, and that has nothing to do with anything. What I did today is not really any of your concern. I'm only going to be streaming for a couple more minutes, so stop talking about weird stuff, please. Yeah, Yunked, but they can only do that if they want to put Landers on their 53 man. You can't steal from a practice squad to put on your practice squad. So a guy you put on the practice squad is only vulnerable if he's good enough to potentially be on a 53 man. Yes, Austin, he got in. Dwayne Eskridge got hurt on the opening kickoff. He did. That is literally what happened. I was glad to see the defense not give up a bunch on Rundy. It was like one of those things where we were giving up big runs, but the big runs we gave up were like 8 or 9 yards instead of 25, 30 yards, which is a big deal, right? It's okay to give up 8 or 9 yard carries sometimes as long as you're also making plays in the backfield, which we were. There were standouts at defensive tackle at man. Most of them are guys that won't make the roster anyway, though. Mike Morris was pretty good. Maybe you could shout him out. Cam Young was injured. He did not play. Okay, Young, I'm serious. Stop talking about stupid stuff. Oh God. All right.
Banned, 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 banned.
Gone forever.
No, Jack, not at all. Not even close. I thought the team was going to bob around 500 the whole season. This run from the this run from the Mariners has taken me completely by surprise. No, Chala move. I have not used I've thought about like how to use Chat GPT to make my channel better, but I can't think of a way to do it. Like if I asked Chat GPT, like give me ideas for videos to make about the Seahawks, it would give me stuff that is not useful. If I started doing like videos that are generated by AI or videos that are narrated by AI, I don't think people would like that. Like imagine if I started making videos that are exactly like my current videos, but instead of me talking, it's just a text to speech program in an AI voice. People would hate that. Daniel, the casino I go to doesn't have sports betting. There's one sports book in my area, and I don't think they have poker there. So I'd have to make a special trip. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Austin, that's going to be a new one. Every time I ban somebody on YouTube, I'm going to play that. ChatGPT's database is 2 years old. Yeah, that's also part of the reason why it's kind of a pain to use. Well, this team proves over and over again they don't really need their top bullpen arms. They're able to replace them pretty easily. Who? Yeah, Julio's having a tough year, but he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him. Are you going to Vegas again this year? Probably not. I was talking about that with my friend, actually, earlier this week, and he doesn't think he's going, and I don't want to go by myself because that's lame. And I just don't think there's enough there for me to just go to play poker. I can play poker here. All right. All right. That's enough.
Banned, 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 banned. Gone forever.
I do not understand why people act like this. Okay. No more of this stupid crap. The stream is about to end. I don't want to hear this garbage anymore. I'm not Cambodian, no. Google Bard or Claude 2 for your proper information. I don't think that would be any faster or better than me just using pro football or no, footballreference.com.
Banned, 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 banned. Gone forever.
Yes, he was King Bomber. I think he was the most dominant player out there for us. He just didn't play that long. Given the fact that Oluwatimi played most of the game, maybe he would be the guy who was in totality the best. JSN looked good. No problem with JSN. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, are we going to see Metcalf and Lockett in the preseason at all? You would think a little bit, but they don't really need it. They don't. They've proven that. Who surprised me the most tonight? Bobo, probably. Probably Bobo. I really thought that once he got on an NFL field, even against backups, he wouldn't be able to get open, but he did. And by the way, the guy he beat for the touchdown was Andrew Booth. I think Andrew Booth was what, a second round pick from LSU. Uh, King Bomber, do you think we'll carry six receivers to start the season? If you're counting Eskridge, yes. If you're not counting Eskridge, no. Brendan, thanks for the stream. Before you end it, what do you think the inside linebacker with Wagner, Bush, and Brooks is going to look like once Brooks is back? Well, Brooks is going to have to work his way back into 100% shape. Like, he's not going to come back and completely get back to the player he was before. So it'll probably be Wagner and Bush, and Brooks can slowly work his way back and maybe play a little bit if somebody gets hurt. But I do think it's going to be Wagner and Bush because there's no way Brooks is 100%. He tore his ACL 7 months ago. Who do you think gets released, Landers, Bobo, or Young? I think Landers gets released and put on the practice squad. Young and Bobo stay because they have value outside of just playing receiver. All right, guys. I think that'll do it for tonight. We got about 140 people in here still, but it is now 12:30. I need to go to bed. And I need to set some stuff up for tomorrow before I go to bed. So thanks everybody for coming out. This was a lot of fun. Good game tonight overall. Last night, whatever. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who liked. Thank you to everybody who donated. We got a couple donations and a new member. And yeah, great stream as always. I may do another one during the weekend, and then of course we're going to do our Hawks Nest streams next week. But keep an eye out for another stream over the weekend. We might just talk about the state of the team, especially once we get word on some of these injuries. Like if we could get an idea on the Eskridge injury, the